Hello everyone. Today I'm going to do a final update on my container garden. It's for the most part been pretty good this year. I've only had a few issues, which I'll mention in just a moment. It's kind of windy today, so I hope you can hear me okay. Starting on this end, I've got potatoes. They're still plugging away, still growing. And I really am a first timer at all this, so from what I understand is you wait until all the foliage pretty much dries up and then you dig up the potatoes, so I guess that's what I'll be doing. Please feel free to comment and tell me if I have any misinformation as I'm going through my garden here, or if I have anything wrong, or if you have any suggestions at all. I'd be happy to hear it. So anyway, potatoes. These were green beans. They actually produced really well, but they still had little beans on them all over trying to grow when all the leaves started falling off, and they just kind of gave up. So I don't know, I planted them kind of late in the season, about the second week of June, so I think I got a late start on them, and I think it just got a little too cool for them, and they just kind of gave up. But I did get quite a few beans off of them before they did, considering it's such a small container, so I was real happy with those actually. Next up we got carrots. I just planted those about the second week of July, or replanted them I should say, and they're doing real well, so I think next week I'm going to try digging some up, see how they turn out. This is my cherry tomato plant. This has been fantastic. I've gotten tons of tomatoes off of this plant. I didn't plant it from seed. I bought a small plant at Walmart, and it was just a puny little thing when I got it, but it just grew like crazy, and it's done really well. I've been covering it at night now because a lot of nights are getting down into the 30s, and on those nights I cover it. Some nights are just 40s, but and now that it's fall in Minnesota, it does get pretty cool at night, so I'm starting to have to cover up some things. Next up, these are this is my cantaloupe plants, and they do have a few little cantaloupes on, but they just stayed just tiny. I mean, you can see kind of perspective of how big they are. They're just little. They all grew. I suppose, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I've only got about 4 or 5 here. They all grew to just be little things about this big, and then they started getting this kind of bark kind of texture on them, started kind of growing over top of them, and once that started happening, it looks like they quit growing altogether, so I don't know if there would be anything worth eating off of these or not. I guess maybe after a while I'll try bringing one in and cutting it up and see what's inside. But now I don't know, on melons like this, do you wait until all the vines dry up too, or do you not wait that long to cut them off? I guess I really don't know. And kind of the same thing happened with my watermelon plants right here. I got a bunch of watermelons, but they're all just little things. They all got maybe 2, 3, no more than 4 inches across. They're supposed to be 7 to 8 inches. They're sugar baby watermelons, but they all just got small, and they never grew any bigger than that. They've been this size now for probably a month. I keep waiting for them to grow bigger, but they just aren't, so I guess that's probably it. I'm kind of guessing that I have 2 problems with the cantaloupe and the watermelon. Number 1, it's not a very big container, and there's just probably not enough dirt and nutrients to support it. And I think I maybe have too many plants in it too. I've got about, I suppose, 8 plants or so in each container, and that's probably just too many, too close together. So next year maybe what I'll do is try for one thing, I'll plant them early. Again, these were planted about the second week of June. I'll plant them earlier, and then I think I'll try quite a bit bigger container and maybe just 3 or 4 plants in each, and see if that doesn't improve my results here. At some point I'll take one of these in and cut it up and see what's inside anyway. You never know. But yeah, it looks like I just have 7 or 8 tiny little watermelon that really don't amount to anything. I guess they're more decorative this year than anything. So, but next up, I've got my Roma tomato plants, and I've gotten it's just one plant. I've gotten a ton of tomatoes off of that too. Lots and lots of tomatoes. Right now it's got a lot of green tomatoes on it yet, but since it's cooled off, they really slowed down as far as turning red. So I'm still covering it at night and hoping they'll keep turning red, and I'll keep getting tomatoes off of it for as long as I can milk it out this fall. And then after that, that's sweet, what were they called? Some kind of sweet onions. They're supposed to be fairly large bulbs. And I think I have them, I think I've got them a little too close together. So, and also I can see that they're making a little bit of bulbs, and I can kind of see, but they're just tiny yet so far. And I mean, underneath soil, I don't think they're very big yet at all. And according to the germination time, if I go by the chart that it said 110 days, that would put it right around Halloween, so I don't know if it'll even last that long. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens with these. First time for everything. I'm kind of living and learning here, so. But hopefully we'll get at least some. I might have to weed out a couple more just to, so they're not squished so close together, and then see what happens with the rest of them there. But they look pretty good though. And then I've got peas, and they look like they're about dead down here, but up at the ends there's still some greenery. I just actually last night pulled 2 more pea pods off of them. Here's another little one right here that's growing. I haven't been covering these at night or anything, but they still have little blooms. And they're still producing a few peas here and there. This weekend's going to get really cold though, so I have a feeling that's going to finish off this plant. I don't know if I'll really get anything else off of it. So, but they've grown really well and gotten a ton of peas off of them too, so I've been really happy with those this year. Here we have one more potato plant, again just growing away, plugging away, doing well. And then down here on the end, what's left of the cucumbers, and I had good luck with those. There's only 3 full-size plants in there, and then this kind of tiny little kind of broken plant right here. This is the entire plant from here down to the stem. And it's trying to produce a little cucumber, but that's as far as it's really gotten. And then there's one other tiny little one still trying to grow in there too, but I think it's kind of, I don't think those are going to get any bigger. I think they're pretty much done. But I got a number of full-size cucumbers off of the 3 full-size plants here. So I think I got about, well, not a lot, but 3 plants. I think I got about 2 full-size cucumbers off of each plant. So I was real happy with that. Turned out really well. And now I think I'll take a run around and show you a couple other things I've got up on the deck and in the front yard. Okay, up towards the front of the house here I've got 2 strawberry plants. And it's just 2 plants, but I've gotten a lot of strawberries off them. You can actually see one more turning nice and red coming off the side right there. It's a little one, but I've been getting little ones and medium-sized ones, nothing real huge, but a little something. And then also up front I've got my pepper plants here. They've gotten huge, and they finally did produce peppers eventually. They got really big, and it seemed like they just sat there for the longest time without producing anything, but then all of a sudden I got a whole bunch of peppers. In a short period of time, a whole bunch of them popped out, so that's good. I've only harvested 1 off of there so far. One of these plants is supposed to be producing green bell peppers, and one's supposed to be producing orange bell peppers. But so far all I see is green on both plants. So I don't know if should I wait and eventually see if some of them turn orange or what? I don't know. I don't want to wait too long and end up having them freeze. I've been covering these at night also. So I guess we'll see what happens with those. But so I've been getting lots of peppers though. And last but not least, I've got my little red potato plants. That's looking like it's about done for the season. It's a pretty small container, not a very big plant. We'll see if we maybe have some baby reds under there or something. And then also on my deck here is a small Roma tomato plant. It's way less than half the size of my other Roma tomato plant. You can see a nice red one right in there that I can probably pluck out of there today. I've gotten probably 3 or 4 Roma tomatoes off there so far, and there's a lot of green ones on there that'll be hopefully ripening in the coming days. So I'm looking forward to some more Roma tomatoes off of that one, and that about does it for my garden this year. This one is so little, by the way, I've just been taking it inside at night, so that's the easiest thing. But yeah, I've been happy with that. Happy with the plant though. I didn't buy it until probably cheaper, so it's probably late July, and it's about doubled or tripled in size from that time, but it's still a pretty small plant. I'm starting to get a lot off of it, so real happy with it. Overall, I think it's been a really good experience doing this container garden this year. I'm learning a lot. It's one of those things, I helped my mom garden a lot when I was young, so I thought, oh, I know a lot about gardening. When I actually started doing it, I realized how very little I knew, so I'm really glad I decided to start gardening this year. I think it's a really valuable skill to learn, and I'm really glad to have done it this year. Next year I think I'm either going to add more containers or maybe start a couple raised beds. Raised beds will definitely work best with the rabbits around here and with my dogs trampling our yard. That'll help keep all those pests out of the garden. So either more containers or raised beds next year, and I look forward to it. Thanks for watching.